Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. I am Brittanie Wright, and I am going to talk to you today about some fitness myths that you may have heard either recently or years ago. But we are going to spend this month, this little series, debunking some fitness myths, some health myths. We're going to talk about various topics from what to do, how to do it, what supplements to take, how they work, etc. All those good things. So, today, we're going to talk about the top five. So these are some of the most common questions I get as a fitness expert. Some of the things that are most talked about on social media or in the news. And so I just wanted to give you my take, my experience, whether that was with personally with clients or my own experience on how I view this, kind of debunk a few things and just give you some clarity so that you can make the best decision for yourself. And with any information that I am providing, I think that's one of the best things that you can do, especially with fitness, is that your body is your greatest resource for what works and what doesn't. The more you can experience, the more open you are to trying new things, new routines, new rhythms, the more you're going to learn about your body and what works, what doesn't, what feels great, and what doesn't. So being in tune with your body, being open to try new things, applying information that you've heard, or just saying like, hey, no, I have found my rhythm. I have found my routine. I'm sticking with it and not getting deterred by all the noise, new shiny things that are thrown at you. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you um, so that we can do a little presentation together. Okay, click, click. Okay. You'd think after all these weeks I'd have this down. All right. So, truth be told, five fitness myths that are holding you back. So, the first one is morning workouts are best, or morning workouts or bust. It's more of a psychological thing than it is truly physical. Now, I will say, I will preface that there is a routine that my body feels best at, that myself feels best at. But that doesn't mean I've gotten the best results because I worked out in the morning versus the afternoon, if that makes sense. So I want you to be able to decipher the difference between what just feels naturally best for you. Where do you have your most energy? Where do you have your most you know, pizzazz to go work out? Not necessarily from a scientific standpoint on where it's best to work out, because there are not studies that tell you that morning fasted workouts are better than evening workouts. However, starting your day with a workout can change the choices that you make in the day. It can change your attitude in which you approach your workout. It can change the mindset that you have about your workout, whether it's in the morning or in the afternoon. Maybe the morning is less chaotic. So you're approaching your morning in a more relaxed state. So your cortisol is balanced, your blood sugar is balanced because you've had something to eat. Whereas maybe if you do an afternoon workout, your cortisol is high because you've been at work all day, or maybe you've been wrangling the kids all day, and now you're working out at 3 or 4 p.m. and you're not in your best state, and it's harder to work out for you. Well, yes. So therefore, mornings might be better for you, but from a physical standpoint, from a results-driven standpoint, it doesn't matter whether you work out in the morning or where you work out in the evening. My best advice when it says when's the best time to work out is the time that you are going to be able to be the most consistent. So for me, that is like a 9 a.m. workout time Monday through Friday. But come Saturday or Sunday, I have to do it before 7 a.m. or it's probably not going to happen as we go into spring season. So I have to know when is the most consistent time for me, and that's what I need to follow the most. So working out later in the day, it can also break up your natural sleep pattern, which can have an effect on your overall health, your stress, and your weight loss. So, from a muscle standpoint, a calorie burn standpoint, it doesn't really change, but it can impact the rest of the choices in the afternoon and how your body responds. So, it's a very personal choice in terms of when is it best for you based on how your body best responds. Okay, so morning workouts might be best for you because they're less chaotic, they're more consistent, and it helps you make better choices around your food and your hydration the rest of the day. Evening workouts may be best for you because that's when you are able to be the most consistent. That's when you have the most energy and that you perform better when you've had a day of fuel in your body so that you can perform your best self during your workout. But so I want you to approach morning workouts are the best in terms of for me. Okay, so they're the best for me. They're not the best for everyone. All right. So take that into consideration when you're starting a workout routine or starting a movement pattern. That it doesn't have to be morning, because I think sometimes when we say I can't work out in the morning, we just don't work out. And it's like, well, now we're not doing ourselves any good because we're stuck in this way of believing that morning workouts are best or it doesn't matter at all. And that's not true. The best workout time is when you can be the most consistent and you are going to show up for yourself every time. Lifting weights makes you bulky. This is not true. This is not true. And I'm here to tell you that it takes a lot of effort, both in the kitchen with your nutrition, supplements if you need supplements, and a lot of time and consistency in the gym to make you put on muscle. And so for women that are in this space, we are working out in a way to tone up. We want to bring some muscle tone to our body. When women say I want to tone up, that means that you want some muscle. So there is going to be a slight increase maybe, but if we're reducing fat and building muscle, we're not going to change how big we are. We probably will go smaller, but we cannot tone up without lifting weights or body weight resistance. We have to have that tone. That tone is muscle. So when we see someone's arms and they're shaped, or we see someone's legs and we're like, oh my gosh, like look at her shape, like they're not, like they look so good. There's muscle there. There is a tone. There's the bone, there's the muscle, and then there's some fat and skin. And when we decrease the fat and we build up the muscle, that's when we start to see that tone, that shape come through in our clothes or in our bikinis or our tank tops or our shorts or our bathing suits, whatever we have on, we see that tone, but they're not going to make us bulky. It's going to take a lot of work, a lot of intention to get you to a point where you're building a lot of muscle. Okay. So our program right here at Vitality Health Matrix that you get when you enroll is here to help you build up good muscle tone so that you can function, so you can bring in groceries, so that you have good muscle tone to your body and we don't, our body doesn't look sunken in, so that your metabolism is faster and healthier and more efficient, so that you feel confident in your body and you feel confident in the way that it moves, okay? Our hormones are not conducive to bulking up. We have a greater handicap in putting on excess muscle because of the way that our hormones function. So a foundation of muscle is not what we think, right? We're not going to start lifting weight and you're going to turn into a bodybuilder. You're going to start lifting weights and you're going to start to bring tone and shape to your body. And we're going to lift your butt up. We're going to give you some shoulder caps. We're going to give you some biceps. We're going to give you some tone to your arm so that you feel more confident in the clothes that you have on. But lifting weights is not going to make you feel incredibly bulky, okay? Frequency of workouts, if you are looking at this from a weightlifting standpoint, the frequency of workouts to gain muscle, you're gonna have to, like I said, there's a lot of intention. You're gonna have to lift moderate to heavy. When I say heavy, I mean heavy weights, 4 to 6 days a week. It's intentional and it's purposeful, and you're lifting heavy consistently. Most women who want to be stronger to do daily activities, we're working out like 1 to 3 days a week. Okay. And we're lifting moderate weights, light weights, maybe 1 or 2 heavy days. But when you see like a bodybuilder, or when you see someone who's incredibly fit shape, they're probably lifting 4 to 6 days a week and they're lifting heavy and consistently and they are pushing for that. Okay. So keep that in mind. It takes a long time to build muscle. It's not going to happen overnight. And the muscle that you see that maybe you're like, oh, I don't want that. takes 6 days a week with a lot of intention and a lot of effort and a lot of lifting heavy. Okay, but we can see good muscle tone by doing body weight resistance consistently 3 days a week, and that will help us shape our body. You can target certain areas for weight loss. This is myth number 3. We can't target, okay? We cannot target where we lose fat. We cannot target, where the fat disappears first from our body, upper, lower, anywhere, okay? What we can do is we can train areas for strength and muscle. So we can say, oh, I want to tone my arms and work. Maybe we do 2 upper body days and 1 lower body day. So we're training the muscle more. And so we're increasing more muscle in that area, but we can't decide whether or not the fat leaves. Okay. The best way to decide and for our body to lose fat is through our dietary changes, making lifestyle changes that will give you the lean muscle mass that you're working and lifting for in your weight workouts. When we talk about lower body, we can't choose like, oh, I want, the fat to leave my butt or the fat to leave my legs, but we can exercise our legs and increase our strength and increase our endurance in our body. And when we work those bigger muscle groups like our back and our legs and our chest, we're recruiting more fibers, we're recruiting more muscle fibers to work, we're burning more calories, not just during that specific exercise regimen, but for the hours after. Okay. So if we're really looking forward to burn some extra calories and to have some fat loss, then we want to make sure that we are training those bigger body groups a couple times a week. So when I have a client come to me, I'm going to say, hey, we're going to get 3 total body workouts because we're going to get the most bang for our buck if we can only commit to 3 times a week. If we're going 4 or 5 times a week, we might do 1 total body, 1 leg, 1 upper, 1 core, and back or something, right? Like, so we do a 4-day split, a 5-day split. And we can change how we approach our workouts, but we can't choose what areas we want for fat loss or weight loss. But we can choose the areas in which we train more consistently to build that lean muscle in that area more. I hope that's tracking. Okay, so we can't choose where the fat disappears from a calorie burn and from a nutrition standpoint, but we can train the areas that we want to see with more muscle. We can train them more frequently. We can train them heavier. We can train them more consistently. And we can do that together to see fat loss come and muscle grow. Okay. So I hope that clears that area up where we can't target and say, oh, I want to lose just right here. I just want to lose the fat right here. We can work this out so that we have more muscle tone there. And as we make decisions for our nutrition and our lifestyle and getting good rest and water and eating whole foods, we can see a fat loss decrease and hopefully see our muscle tone go up. Longer workouts are not necessarily better. Okay, I cannot tell you how many times I don't have an hour, I don't have 45 minutes. I've even caught myself in this lie or just having to navigate a new mindset in the last couple months. Like, I love 45 minutes. I can't do 45 minutes 5 days a week. And so what I was finding was that, oh, if I can't do 45, I'm not doing anything. And so then it was like, oh, I'm only working out 2 days a week. But that doesn't mean that the longer doesn't mean better. The longer doesn't mean anything other than I'm just spending more time that day in the gym. So I had to reevaluate and I had to say like, nope, 35, 40 minutes. I mean, that 5 minutes makes a big difference. 30 minutes versus 45 is a huge difference. So you need to decide what's going to be better, again, better and consistent in your schedule. 30 minutes 3 times a week is way more efficient and better for your body than one time 45 minutes. Okay. So in my opinion, you might hear someone say like, oh, let's say we did 2 45-minute workouts. Okay. That's an hour and a half. We do 3 30-minute workouts. That's an hour and a half. So the time per week spent in the gym is better or is the same. Yes. Right. But we worked out Monday and Friday versus 30 minutes and Wednesday. And what this does is it helps our body. We have more consistency. Okay. We worked 3 times out that week versus 2. So we worked the muscle group, let's say 3 times that week versus 2. We've had an extra day where we maybe burned a few more calories. So we burned more calories that day. Working out helps us make better choices for our body. We tend to have better hydration. We make better choices with our food. So I'm sure we had we didn't go over in a calorie surplus that day. And we tend to sleep better and our stress is more managed. So yes, 2 minutes, 45 minute or 2 hour, two workouts for 45 minutes is the same time, but we had more days with the benefits of exercise. And that I think has a longer term success rate than saying I did 45-minute workouts. So if you can get in a good, solid, consistent workout in 14 minutes, 20 minutes, that's what I want you to do. There's a lot of value there. The circuits that I have created for Vitality Health Matrix, some of them are 7 minutes. If you can do one circuit 3 times a week, that's 21 minutes throughout the week. But that's 21 more minutes than you would have done if you would have said, no, I can't do it at all because it's not a half an hour. It's a half an hour more than you would have done, right? So we have to let go of this myth that it has to be a certain amount of time. We just need movement. And we start to build that as we go. So if you can start with 7 minutes and you can follow through on 7 minutes, you're going to slowly build to 14. You're going to slowly build to 21. You're going to slowly build more time because you're going to understand how to fit it in your schedule. You're going to know how great you feel and you're going to trust yourself that you're going to do it. So you are more likely to commit long term to daily short workouts than to commit to these 45 minute to an hour. That's the goal. The goal is to make exercise more consistent in your life. And if we're putting this myth that it has to be 45 minutes or our walk, I've caught myself in this. Oh, I can't walk for an hour. I don't want to go. I can't walk 3 miles. I don't want to go. I'm like, no, I walked 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. That some of those days, that 15-minute walk is the only thing between me hitting a 10,000 step goal and a 5,000 step goal, right? Or is that those few minutes? So longer is not necessarily better. The shorter is more consistent, which means we're going to have better long-term results versus short-term. You must sweat to work hard or be super sore. Some people just sweat more than others. My husband and I can go run the same amount of time. I'm going to be drenched and he's not going to look like he did anything. So truthfully, it's about how your body regulates temperature. There's so many factors to include here. What's the temperature of your body? What do you have on? What did you eat that day? How did you recover? How hydrated are you? How much weight are you lifting? It is no guarantee on the amount of sweat. Sweat is not an indicator on that was a hard workout or not. I mean, I can get on the treadmill and walk and I'm sweating, right? Lifting, I might not sweat, but I know that lift was a harder workout than that walk. So it can depend on a ton of different factors. It's just one piece, and you have to go back to your body again to say, sorry. You have to go back to your body and know your body. I'm like, oh man, like I don't normally sweat and I was sweating. You probably worked yourself a little bit harder. Or if I'm just like usually drenched and I did not find myself drenched, I'd be like, okay, what was my nutrition? Did I take a pre-workout? How much caffeine have I had? When was the last time I did this workout? Like I'd ask myself some questions and do some self-reflection. I wouldn't just say that it wasn't a good workout. Okay. So taking into consideration how your body responds and knowing your body and what its natural response typically is. Your level of soreness dictates a good workout or not. This is not true, okay? Soreness tells me a couple things. Like one, did you push yourself a little bit? So there's a variant of this of was it a good workout in terms of did you push past your comfort zone? I can get a really good workout in that is burning calories, my muscles are working, but I'm not pushing my limits. There's a difference, right? Like this is what I'm doing. I'm just coming in here to get a workout in versus, oh no, I'm going for like a 1 rep max, or I'm gonna go see as far as how fast can I go. So when was the last time you've pushed your limits and are you working in your comfort zone? So the soreness doesn't tell me that it was a better workout than yesterday. The soreness tells me that maybe you pushed a little bit further. But I also want to do some self-reflection again here. Soreness like after one workout, like let's say you haven't worked out in a month and you're sore the next day. You're going to be sore. Your muscles haven't moved, right? So they're going to be sore. But if we're consistently working out and you did, let's say Wednesday you did a total body and you did, 12-pound bicep curls, and then Friday you do 12-pound bicep curls, but Saturday you're really sore and Thursday you weren't, I'm going to say, okay, well, how much rest did you have? Like, did you get good sleep? Did you hydrate? Do you have electrolytes? Did you eat? And how did you eat on Thursday to recover versus Friday? So how was your nutrition on Wednesday and Thursday to make you not sore versus maybe you didn't eat enough protein on Friday. Maybe you didn't have enough water. Maybe you stayed up late and your body couldn't recover well. So now you're sore on Saturday. So for me, when I look at soreness from a trainer's perspective or my own body's perspective, I also have to look at how did my body recover and how did I allow it to heal? That tells me more about my body than being sore. So just from a personal experience, I went through, you know, about 12 to 14 months where I was like, I can't work out because I'm so sore the next day. Like I pull up muscle or my hamstrings are incredibly sore. I just wasn't eating enough protein to do that level of work. I could not lift the weight that I was lifting and eat the amount of protein that I was doing and feel okay. So I had to lower the weights that I was lifting until I could get my protein intake consistently back up to a safe zone where I was not constantly sore, stressed, or triggering a migraine or triggering anything. I had to make sure that my body was fueled. So the soreness for me as a trainer is not necessarily the workout, that there's a play into that, but I also think it's an indicator of how well are you fueling yourself and allowing yourself rest and recovery in between workouts. Okay. So soreness is partially due to inflammation from the muscle damage. Some people have a naturally higher inflammatory response. They may feel more sore. And that delayed onset muscle soreness can last up to 48 hours after you've completed your routine and your body will adjust. So some people are sore the next day, some people are sore 48 hours later. I would just do some self-reflection in and of yourself to say, did I push myself enough that I was like, oh, I normally do 10 pounds in lunges and I did 20s? Yes, I'm probably going to be sore. If I did 10 pounds on Wednesday and 10 pounds on Friday and I wasn't sore on Wednesday, but I was sore on Friday, I'm going to look at your recovery response. Okay. The workout didn't change. Something else did so that your body couldn't heal and function and recover. So these are the top fitness myths that I come into contact with often. And this was my personal response. This is how I would coach a client through it, questions that I would ask, and to make sure that we are paying attention to your body and not pushing your body into a place where it's not ready to handle yet because it's not sore. So I hope these were helpful. I hope you identified some myths or lies that you've been telling yourself, or maybe you've just fallen prey to. I hope that I've cleared up some noise out in the fitness world. And if there's anything else I can answer for you, we are here and we are willing, and we want to help you feel your best and trust your body and trust yourself. We'll see you guys next time.